Clear Lake Shore City Council regular meeting, October 2nd, 2019 at 6:30 to order. And we have one council member, Thompson, not present. Item 2, pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible. All right, we're going to start off this evening with a presentation from Dr. Moses and Melissa Shantez with Clear Creek Independent School District to provide an update on the Leader in Me program. Welcome.
We wanted to be able to come today and give you an update. Hello. Okay, there we go. We wanted to come and thank you so much for all that you've done over the years for our community and at Stewart Elementary. Most of you know that I had the privilege of being the principal for 11 years. I started my teaching career in Clear Creek ISD 18 years ago as a 4th grade teacher at Stewart. So this community, our students have such a big place in my heart, and it's just been an honor to serve. This summer we had a little change, though. My position changed in the district, and now I'm working with the Human Resources Department as the director. And so I just wanted to personally thank each of you for all that you have done for me, for our teachers, and for our students. And I wanted to have the privilege of introducing our amazing, talented new principal, Ms. Melissa Sanchez. We've worked over the last 3 or 4 years together hiring new teachers. She helped coordinate our dual language program, which many of you know about. And so I felt that it was just, I didn't get to pick her, but if I could have picked, that's who I would have picked. So I was so thankful that she is coming behind me. And I told our teachers that I hoped that they would allow the next person, that was before I knew Melissa was going to be named, the next person to really have their own shoes. And they didn't need to fill my shoes, they needed to have their own shoes. So if you've looked at Melissa's shoes lately, she definitely has her own shoes. They're fabulous always, and I'm so excited about the work that she's doing at Stewart. So I'm going to turn it over to her. She's going to give you an update of where Stewart is in the Leader in Me program.
Thank you very much. I'm really excited. Stewart's an awesome place. Like Dr. Moses said, I've worked with her for 4 years and have been in CCISD for 13 years, and I'm starting my 27th year in education. So I really feel that this is where my heart is, and it was we didn't plan it, but it worked out really nice. So just an update on our Leader in Me program at Stewart. This is year 1 for us. Like Dr. Moses said, thank you so much for your support. This has really helped support our mission for Stewart, which is basically focusing on personalized learning, our core values, and really cultivating positive relationships so that students have meaningful learning in a safe and nurturing environment. What we've learned so far, because again, this is year 1, so we've had 3 days of professional learning. Our first 2 days were this summer, July 29th and July 30th, and our 3rd day was August 14th. Our teachers got to sit in 3 full days of PL. September 12th, we had a meeting with our Lighthouse team, which is basically the leaders of each action team. And those leaders go back into the 5 separate action teams, and we help develop our roles. Leader in Me is based on the 7 habits of highly successful people, which are being proactive, beginning with the end in mind, putting first things first, and think win-win, so win-win situations. Seek first to be understood, then seek first to understand, then be understood, synergize, and sharpen the saw. These are habits that we can apply to our own personal lives, but they really help build our students as leaders, and that's our main mission. It's a specific program that teachers use to teach specific lessons that address the 7 habits, and this ties into our core values. I'm not going to read this entire chart, but the 7 habits are what I just went over, the being proactive, having the end in mind, first things first, win-win. We are starting to develop these with our teachers through lessons they have weekly. And again, the main goal is to promote these and build student leaders. Here are some pictures of our professional learning. It was really fun. Our teachers got very competitive throughout the PL sessions. This was in July. We had to turn around and present what we had learned and internalize that. Each group got to go up there and give their examples of what each had. So here are some more pictures of our staff. Implementation. So students are continuing to receive lessons on character core values. They get the book of the month. Student jobs. We are about to start this. One of our action teams is in charge of this. Students will apply for a job. They have to fill an application. There'll be a hiring committee that will select students, and we're going to go through the entire hiring process with them. We're also continuing our monthly lessons from our counselor, Ms. Paula Leja. Here are kiddos, which is my favorite part of the job. So here's a couple of kiddos with their jobs. Some more pictures. This is Friday's ceremony. If you all were able to attend, we greatly appreciate it. These are all 5th graders, and those of you who did attend on Friday, you saw what a fabulous job they did of presenting the school, the building, and they came up with their own speeches. We didn't write those for them. We took them to the area they were going to present and asked them what they thought about it, how they felt. Then we helped coach them through it, but their presentations were all on their own, and they were very, very proud. So we were, in turn, very proud of them. This is our counselor, Ms. Leja, conducting some character lessons with a group of students. Goal setting is huge. That's part of our mission, and we have kids starting in pre-kindergarten that are setting their goals, whether it's to learn their letters or, as high as math in 5th grade, but they all set their individual goals. We've got our class meetings. We have those in every daily. And we have teachers reading books that are related to our core values. And here's another picture of our kiddos at the end of last year. Yes, with somebody who is in this room. And we just want to thank you for this amazing opportunity. We really think it's a fabulous program, and I know we're going to reap the benefits with having our students develop as leaders. So thank you very much for this amazing opportunity. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sanchez and Dr. Moses, for the awesome program that y'all brought to the community and to the school. All right, reports from council. Councilwoman Lyons.
The only thing I have is just, again, that Clemcy is no longer 911 as of yesterday for the community, and we have switched to Galveston County. So I'm looking forward to how we develop a relationship with them.
All right, thank you, Councilwoman. All right, Councilwoman Terrell.
2 things. The first, we all did attend the ribbon cutting at Stewart this past week, and what struck me, they've left us, but what struck me is our student leader for our group to do the tour. She was in 5th grade. Her name is Carly. She had more poise, more professionalism. She was better spoken, and she was more engaging than a lot of the adults that I know. This gem that is our school is amazing, and I'm realizing that the more I get involved. I know you guys probably already knew that, but it blows me away how wonderful this school is. So the money that we have invested in the Leader in Me program, I think, is very well spent. The second thing, Back the Blue. Holy cow, we made $3,518 for our blue, and it was a fantastic day. It was really cool interacting with the police officers and seeing you guys smile and try to keep chili dogs off your face and stuff. You're real people that day. It was fun. So that was a great time, and just Michelle Mazak and her team that put that together. Fantastic job.
Thank you, Councilman Terrell. Councilwoman Tip Bailey.
Same with Angie. Last night was an awesome turnout. Got several comments from individuals that had gone to Dickinson and Texas City and said that our turnout was larger, and they were very impressed with the citizens that showed up. And I want to thank everyone that volunteered and came out and spent time with our officers to get to know them. And I just want to say that I really appreciate what they do for us and how they protect us. Clear Lake Shore specifically, they do a great job.
They do a wonderful job.
I appreciate every one of you,
Y'all do.
lady and gentleman. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Bailey. Councilwoman Fenwick, please.
Thanks, Mayor. I have a couple things tonight. Obviously, ditto for the thanks to the police department and the fire department who's not here, and everybody who came out for National Night Out last night. Speaking of the fire department, we will launch their website finally tomorrow. It's a new fire department website tomorrow. Want to remind everybody that the Clear Creek Education Foundation is hosting its Dine Out to Donate on Monday night. So this is where you can go out to eat. There's a couple Clear Lake Shores restaurants on there, but there's several restaurants throughout our community, League City, Kemah, and us. Make sure you tell them that you're there with the Clear Creek Education Foundation, and I will plug to make sure that you write Stewart Elementary or tell them that you want the money to go to Stewart Elementary, because there's a competition and some schools can win money for the most schools that participate. Speaking of Stewart, they're looking for carnival donations. Their carnival is October 19th. It's open to the public, but there's a silent auction and several games and stuff. So if you might want to contribute either a cash donation or an item, you can see Angie, you can see me, you can see Christy. We're all involved with the PTA, and so we'd be happy to take your donation. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Councilman Fenwick.
Thank you.
I just have a few items. Just a reminder, I did last time, Bay Area Heart Walk for the mayors, Walking with Heart. It's November 9th at 8 o'clock in Kemah Boardwalk, 215 Kip. Our team name is the Clear Lake Shore Sunsetters, so hopefully y'all will go out there and sign up for that. It's also on our Facebook page. Kudos to everybody with the National Night Out, great turnout. Also the people that helped, Civic Club, Police and Fire Department, great having y'all out there. Dave Petkus headed it all up. Recognize a couple of the cooks, Gabe Capelli, Ronnie Richards, Keith Fleming, and Art Olson. And then lastly, Laura Freeman for amazing desserts and ending amazing National Night Out in the little slice of paradise that we have. Also, just a reminder, Fire Prevention Week is starting next week, October 6th to the 12th. Their motto is not every hero wears a cape, plan and practice your escape.
And you'll see posts coming out about that on the fire department's Facebook page.
Good. And that's all I have. All right, staff reports, Police Department Chief Cook.
Stats for the month of September 2019, the police department conducted 209 traffic contacts, 6 DWI driving while intoxicated, 7 narcotic related, 2 unauthorized use and recovery of stolen vehicle, 1 evading arrest, 2 thefts. Total arrests including warrant arrests was at 50. 26 welfare checks, assisted other agencies 10 times, 164 residential checks while on vacation watch, and made 1,779 business checks. Back to Blue event, wonderful turnout at the Back to Blue event held on Saturday, September 21st. Special thanks going out to Rochelle and Chuck Mazok, Casey and Nicole Davis, Murray and Josh Rampy, along with a large list of other CLS neighbors and local businesses for all their hard work putting this event together, along with the very generous donations made to the Clear Lake Shores Police Department. The grand total amount was $20 over what you said earlier. This is $3,538. Thank you, David. National Night Out was an excellent turnout last night. Special thanks to Dave Petkus, Target, and CLS Civic Club for everything. We had a great time. Now, I'm going to turn this over to Sergeant Baylor. He's going to speak about a felony warrant murder suspect arrest at the Gadget Commentary.
You got to use the mic, though. It's recorded.
All right. Okay, so like Chief said, he asked me to come in here and just kind of brief y'all on some, some things periodically that we do. This one, in fact, we were contacted by Federal Fugitive Task Force members who were seeking a wanted fugitive in the area. They had laid this fugitive down. I say laid him down. They had pinned him down to this area. Sorry to use some slang. They pinned him down to this area. They were requesting assistance with effecting the arrest on this person. They were conducting surveillance at the time of contact. this ended up turning into, it took up the better part of my day. We ended up getting in on this operation with them, conducting their surveillance. They were watching a house. They ended up deciding to make contact at the residence and attempt to call the fugitive out of the residence. This person in particular has a pretty violent history, including some type of contact from the information that I got, where he was involved in shooting a police officer out of state, and he had some federal warrants, felony warrants for weapons-related offenses and an assortment of other things. Anyways, they ended up calling this guy out of the residence. Fortunately, he complied. He had made threats, I believe, to the FBI that he wouldn't be taken alive, that he had body armor and ballistic vests, automatic weapons, and that he intended to do what we would call police-assisted suicide. Fortunately, that didn't happen. He came out. We had no issues. We were able to safely take him into custody. We're happy that these other agencies, these federal agencies, are able to come to us and trust in our experience, that we can provide mutual aid, as we would call it, assist other agency, like the chief said, to help them get these people off the street and back into jail if they need to be. And this person in particular was a violent individual who we're glad is now back in jail and probably on his way back to some type of federal penitentiary or federal prison. We're happy to keep you safe, and like I said, we're happy that these people come to us. They trust in our experience as an agency. They trust in our experience as individuals and officers with the information that they provide us, and they trust in our abilities to do our job and help them safely effect this arrest as we work as a team. Give some kudos to the Kemah Police Department K-9. He assisted us with this in case we did have actors on the ground. In case somebody decided to run from the residence, he would be able to help us with an apprehension if need be. So that's kind of a significant event that we've had around here lately. But we're able to safely get this guy into custody and hopefully back to jail. So, like I said, we're happy that those agencies trust in us and come to us for help when they need it, and we're happy to help in recovering fugitives and whatever else they need.
Can you say whereabouts this occurred at, or I missed it?
Yeah. The arrest was made in about the 100 block of West 4th Street over here, just about a couple blocks from the school. So that's where we're able to take him into custody.
And when did this happen?
A couple weeks ago, probably. When was that? I couldn't give you the exact date. It's been a couple weeks, probably maybe a week and a half, something like that. It was end of September. So, anybody else have any questions about that? I give you what I can give you.
Wow. Thank you.
Yeah.
No problem. That's what we're here for. And like I said, we're happy to help. So. All right.
Well, I'd just like to say we really appreciate all your hard work, and
Absolutely.
especially in those
Thank you.
situations. All right, building official Kevin Harrell.
Mayor and council, since our last meeting, I've issued 8 permits. Of that 8 permits, I have 1 new construction going on at 20 Tyndale. I'm sure you've noticed the home was demoed last week. I issued a new food truck permit today for Billy's Barbecue. No, it's not Billy Flanagan, it's another Billy. He should be setting up tomorrow. I heard his barbecue is very good. Code enforcement, I currently have 4 cases pending right now. 1 case I want to talk about, obviously, the last meeting we issued an order to remove a sailboat. In looking into having the boat removed, I first contacted our 4 tow truck companies that we typically use. Unfortunately, 3 of those companies do not do salvage work. I did talk to Classic Towing, who does have a yard. They do salvage work, but unfortunately, they do not have the equipment to handle such a large boat. I'm still currently trying to find some kind of company to take it away. I did obtain, as I told you our last meeting, that it would be free. I'm still trying to find a free way to do this. but I did obtain a quote from a boat salvage company that will remove the boat. They have the equipment. They have a lift to put it on a trailer and take it away. The problem with the boat is it's not on a trailer. It's on a cradle, and it has no wheels, so it has to be lifted. Their quote, if we work it into their schedule, after the October 7th, they can do $57.50 to remove the boat. If we want it removed before October 7th, it's $67.50. I met with the representative last week on the boat. He went onto the boat. He also did not want to step into the boat because it was unsafe. He did recommend that the boat could not be saved. It's beyond repair. He mentioned the keel. They looked up the boat. He mentioned the keel is not complete. Apparently at some point in time the keel was cut in half. So it's not a functioning boat anymore. As again, I'm still looking for a less expensive way to get rid of it. The owner, Mr. Beauchamp, has had his tenants park in front of the boat, obviously because I've been there several times with people looking at the boat. That too could be a problem if we did hire a company or found a company. They're certainly not going to remove their vehicles. I can certainly ask them to remove the vehicles, but I think we all know what the answer would be to that. And that's all I have. Do you have any questions?
Have you had any contact with the owner himself? Has he contacted the city at all in any manner?
I have not. He has not contacted me.
Has he contacted you, Mayor, or you, Brent?
I've been out to the house
Okay.
several times. I've stood out there several total hours out there. He's not come down, talked to me. Neither have the tenants.
So,
Initially, upon being decided, though, we did come up and you had contact.
Yes, as I informed you earlier, he did come to the city demanding a public hearing. He became very belligerent and very loud, and the assistant chief had to step in and tell him to calm down, basically. But I have not seen him since.
so where does that put us legally? The city issued an order to have that boat towed, and so now what?
Good question. As we sit now, if we want to spend the money, this company will come and take care of it as long as there's nothing in the way of it. If they show up with equipment ready to move it and they don't move their vehicles, there's very little we can do.
Even our police department.
Correct.
So that puts us in a pickle because we've responded to a resident complaint and we've issued an order to resolve that complaint, and
Right.
now we as a city can't resolve it. So
I'm not
what?
saying that those tenants, if instructed, ask them to move their vehicles, maybe they will. I don't know what the owner has told them, if he's instructed them to block it.
So is this something that we need to get some guidance from our attorney on then, how to proceed so that we don't go down the wrong path?
We can talk to our municipal court judge, see
Okay.
if there's a legal way around that. Like I said, I'm still looking for a free way to do this, not cost the city any money, but I haven't had much luck.
Because it seems like we're putting ourselves in jeopardy both ways with the folks, whoever they were that complained. Now we're not following through. And we're also putting ourselves in jeopardy if we do it because we have those cars there. So, yeah, some
Correct.
additional guidance would probably be good. And then
I will look into it.
Thanks, Kevin. And then my second question, 311 Narcissus, how did the hearing go?
The city
Oh, you got
administrator
that?
is going
Okay,
to discuss
thanks.
that.
Okay, thanks. Thank you, Kevin.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Kevin. All right, fire chief's not here. City administrator Brent Spear.
Do the high flyover with National Night Out last night. I also want to thank the volunteers from Target. They sent volunteers over to help out, and they're a big commercial partner for us. Let's see, on the Clear Lake Shores parking lot at the entrance to the island, we did have an on-site inspection, and we're working on a unified plan to correct those issues, and I expect to have hopefully something this week or early next week I'm gonna call him tomorrow, Brad Matlock, see if we can get that. But the good news is that the soil that's about 6 inches down appears to be stable enough to accept any kind of treatment. So it's not going to require, it's not sand, it's a clay-like material, which is a good find. And we did several exploratory holes. At City Hall, if you've been by recently, you'll notice there's a new ADA parking spot minus the stencil on the ground. So that is available. We lost 2 spots to make one that can accept a van. Jorge and Odie did an excellent job getting that knocked out. And they also did a lot of work around the perimeter of the parking lot. We had grass encroaching upon it, so our parking lot grew by about a foot all the way around, and we are planning on having that help drain things. So with sheet draining, that should help. So that's been improved. See, I'm working right now. I've talked to Chief Hahn about continuing with Fire Marshal Services. He's agreed to do that. Also, in that same vein, I did tell him that it was the intent of the city to get some fees and help fund his efforts. He is the licensed fire marshal, and he could hire someone to work on his behalf under his purview.
So when do we expect that the whole process will be complete? So we'll have somebody under contract because
well,
technically we don't.
Yeah, technically we don't, but he did an inspection yesterday with the today
right.
with the food truck. I hope to have it resolved within a couple weeks.
Okay. And is that on a contract basis, or are we entering into an agreement with him?
My plan was to do an agreement with him, and since we haven't budgeted for that position, it would be a pass-through type scenario. So as he or someone underneath him works, then they'd be compensated for that work. Okay. So it's kind of a twofold. If they don't do anything for us, we don't pay for it.
Right.
So and it's a two-step process. The first one is we're identifying fees to go along with all these different things, and we're trying to plan into the future for anything that's out there. So we can also have the fire marshal inspect, for instance, spray booths for body shops and things like that, review plans for gas stations. So
I thought we currently had an interlocal agreement in place, so I'm
No,
confused
the water
about that.
district voted to terminate the fire marshal position within the Kemah Volunteer Fire Department. So technically we are without it. Technically us.
Today,
No,
when did they vote for that?
a couple weeks ago. And
Okay.
Source has a name fire marshal.
correct.
Yeah, we have a named
Okay.
fire marshal.
Correct. We just need to firm it up.
Okay.
Right.
It's not through the fire department anymore.
And
So
again,
we're-
in the
we're-
interim, though, he is serving us, so we
He
do
is.
have a
Yes.
fire
Yes.
marshal. Okay.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
And he's aware of what's going on. I just haven't, I have a draft agreement that I'm going to run past the mayor, actually, have him review that. And before I send it off to legal, I just want to make sure that we don't rack up a lot of extra legal costs on it. On Public Works, we have that drainage easement bulkhead that's over on Kendall. We've gotten 2 responsive bids on that, just so you're aware, $2,130 and $2,400. It's in bad shape, so planning on making sure we have the money to do that. We'll move forward with that. The Oak and North Shore inlet's working well, and we continue to work on that to build it up for heavy truck traffic. On some good notes, I did have a public comment meeting September 30th at City Hall regarding the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department Voc Access Grant. And that's the grant that hopefully we can use for improvements at Shell Bottom Park, and then possibly land acquisition and other improvements. So I had 3 people in attendance. I was one of the 3. The other 2 were people that helped me with the grant, and we were all in support of it, so that's good. I didn't expect a lot of public comment because this project actually came from the public, came from a committee that was established. So we had a lot of community involvement at the front end. So they are also aware of that. That was submitted under the deadline, and now we sit and wait till about April 2020 to see if we receive some funding. I think the thing that is an advantage for us is that it is kind of small potatoes to the bigger pool, and it would be an easy project for them to approve, and it would have a great impact for our community, and it's not a lot of money on either end. On 311 Narcissus, we received a restraining order to stop with any demolition. Remember at the last meeting, it was sold, or it was available for auction, I guess, and then supposedly it was sold, and it was actually, I think, probably bought by a bank for their assets. And so we received a restraining order, about 30 pages of stuff, and we had to meet in Galveston, or we could enter into agreement. Olson & Olson, our legal representation, struck a Rule 11 agreement, which has something to do with that property. And basically what it is, it's an agreement that says, we're not going to tear it down. We'll agree not to tear it down if you agree to bring it in compliance, within a certain time. I started with 14 days, and we negotiated to 30. So I figured 1 month was a good deal, considering that if we drug it out and went to court, it would be the middle of December 2019 before we had anything done by the courts. So sooner than better was kind of my thinking. We were released from the contract with the demolition company. The bank actually turned around and signed the contract with the demolition company, and for the same work, and so they're going to have to pay now. They're going to have to pay a demo permit and a plumbing permit, whereas before we were exempt as our government entity. We generate all the same amount of paperwork. Kevin does all the same work, but we don't charge ourselves for it. So the net result is it's going to be gone before October 20th, and it's going to be done by the same company that came out and looked at it, and the city should garner just under a couple $1,000, I think, for permit fees. So kind of a small win, small victory.
So I'm hearing that coming into compliance also doesn't necessarily mean fixing it. It means raising it, right? I mean, like demoing it.
In this case, they're going
compliance.
to raise. They wanted to bring it into compliance, but upon inspection, they figured out that
More than 50% of its value, yada, yada, yada. Okay.
it's not worth it.
So compliance is demo then, and now we have a lot.
They've agreed to demo it.
Okay.
So that will be gone, and Kevin has communicated with the neighbors so that they're aware. Let's see, Stewart Elementary open house, that was awesome. It was really neat to see those kids and engaged staff. But then the other thing that I thought was really impressive was the long list of people that have gone to school there through the years. And just so you're aware, communication specialist that job posting has been taken down. We had approximately 50 applicants. I've whittled that down to 10 and hope to do it down to 4 tomorrow, and then schedule some interviews. Well, we had, I'd say probably 12 possible candidates, 10 that I whittled it down to, and 4 that would be hopefully a good fit. And I hope to work with Amanda Fenwick on that, since she has expertise in that area. You have any questions?
Brent, with regard to the parking lot, at the last EDC meeting that we all attended, I heard the EDC say one of their goals for that parking lot was uniformity in its appearance. They want it to look nice. In the redealings with the engineering firm, is that still something that we're looking at?
Yes, that's
Okay.
that's one of the conditions.
Okay, thank you.
And will you, when that plan is finalized, will you share that with all of us so that we're all aware? Because I know we all probably get.
I believe the
Yeah,
cost
it-
has to come back here because it's
It will
over
come
there.
back for funding,
Okay.
so yeah,
And
you'll
there'll
be
be
aware.
some sort of other plan that we have
Yes.
besides.
Along
okay.
with the
Engineering.
shrubbery and stuff like that.
Okay.
The
Yeah, landscaping will be a
landscaping.
second phase,
Right.
and that will also reappear later.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Brent. Item 6, scheduled visitor Ed Berry, is he present?
On Mr. Berry, I think that item has probably been resolved. That was in relation to the
Okay.
revoked waterfront leases, and that was
Lundquist.
rescinded.
Okay. Item number 7, public comments. No public comments. Number 8, new business consent agenda, items A through D.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda A through D.
I would like to pull item B.
So I need a new motion.
B.
New motion. Revise your motion.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda A, C, and D, pulling item in B.
I'll second that.
All right, motion for A, C, and D. All in favor? Any opposed? None? Unanimous? All right. Item B.
So I have some changes, so I'll make a
Make a
discuss the
motion.
changes, or,
Make a motion to make this changes.
okay. So I would make a motion to discuss and approve the minutes with changes.
Second.
So, in the minutes, it says that the Civic Club thanked Alan Batchelor for help with the back-to-school party. Pretty sure that was supposed to be Juju Allen.
Yes.
No offense to you, Alan Batchelor, but I don't recall seeing you at the back-to-school party, so I want to make sure that's, so that says Juju. And then there's just on item D, it said legal counsel, it should be legal counsel, C-O-U-N-S-E-L, not counsel, C-O-U-N-C-I-L. So it's just a spelling of the word counsel. So that's my motion to approve with those two changes.
All right, we have a motion and a second for those two changes. All in favor? Unanimous. All right, item number 9, council business discussion and possible action may be taken on the following items. Approve employee holiday schedule for fiscal year 20.
This is the final piece of the puzzle for the budget packet. Basically, it's a reconstituted schedule from last year. Different dates changed and filled in, and we wanted to get the total holiday hours to match as last year's for both the police side and the civil side. So that's what this document is. It just needs to be approved. Upon approval, it's part of the packet of the budget, and then I will print the budget, bind it, and you should have your hard copies this week.
Can we change the title to fiscal year 20 on the top?
Yeah, we can do that.
Thanks.
I'm trying to go through there and make those changes.
Do you need a motion or?
Yeah, we would need a motion.
I'll motion to approve the holiday schedule.
With that one change.
With that change,
I'll
yes.
second.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Amanda and Angie. All in favor? Unanimous. All right. Item B, review and discussion of police department general orders and policy manual.
This, you can see those two binders that are kind of a wall around the chief of police over there. Those are the printed, completed documents in binders. This is on the agenda because I wanted to give you an opportunity to ask him any questions. However, it is an incredible amount of information to try to digest. If you had any immediate needs or questions, those could be addressed now to the chief. However, I think you probably need more time unless you're a speed reader. We can schedule a special meeting, and it wasn't to be approved at this meeting anyway. It was just a discussion point. I wanted to make sure that it was on the agenda. So if you want to pass over it, that's fine.
I just had a question.
Ma'am.
Where does that come from? Is that a state-generated, are those orders state-generated?
I can read to y'all and we can go from there.
Perfect.
Please.
All police organizations operate under a set of written procedures to be followed in a wide range of situations. Clear Lake Shores Police Department's procedures are designed to give officers and command staff a clear guide to dealing with the wide variety of situations that police personnel must handle, and a set of instructions for ensuring that all services are offered and accomplished in an effective legal and ethical manner. Policies and procedures must also be read and acknowledged by all personnel to whom they apply. General orders typically have a broad statement of a specific policy found in the policy manual, such as, for example, use of a contracted jail facility or other agencies' dispatch services, or the type of uniforms you're going to wear for service. Since those type of written directives may change from time to time as needed, they will be separate written directives from a policy. So that's why we have two. When developing a police department policy procedure manual, you don't reinvent the wheel, so to speak. I had obtained our old CLSPD policy manual from Texas City PD back in 2003 and merely changed Texas City PD to Clear Lake Shores PD, making it into the policy manual we use up to date. However, since VHS videotapes no longer exist, and we will probably never have our own city jail or our dispatch services, we needed to update our policy manual and general orders to reflect that. The administration staff of our police department was very much involved with all the updating and developing of this new CLSPD policy and general orders manuals. These manuals are very well put together, and I believe they will fit our needs for the next many years to come.
Wow, how long did that take?
Well, Brent Spear and I discussed this, and we found some issues, like I said, with the old manuals back in April.
Wow.
And started working on that, cleaning them up, a lot of things. We got the staff, administration staff involved, and decided that we needed to change everything around. Chapter 4 would become Chapter 1, Chapter 19, Chapter 24 instead of. So we all went through there and changed it all up to make it, something real good where we can find, anything we need.
And
Wow.
so with the general orders, some of those, are 6, 7, 8 years old. So are those reviewed as well as part of that?
A lot of those went away.
Okay.
The
So how do we know which?
The old manual that you got a copy of, you won't find those general orders in this new one.
So the zip packet, the thing that we got with the general orders, those are old that we got in our packet?
No, they are the revised ones.
Oh, then those are good.
Okay, well there's some that are dated from 2011, so those are still standing?
They're numbered 19-0024 or what have you, or 0016 or whatever. Those are the updated.
I see.
They're
So
old
so the
2011 general orders that are still.
They're still in it.
I see. Okay. Gotcha.
So we're supposed to review our ordinances every 2 years to make sure that all of that doesn't happen. Is there a review process with general orders, or is it just when you feel like, these aren't working anymore?
Pretty much that way.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you for your hard work.
And you ready to do the ordinances for us?
Yeah, please.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
All right, anything else, Brent, on that? Any questions from council? Discussion?
I just would add that it has taken a long time, and he wasn't told the chief to take as much time as he needed. One of the neat things that they did is they did prioritize and put important things to the top so they don't get buried in the middle, because as we read stuff, I'm working on new signs right now for the pool. All the important stuff's in the middle. By the time you get there, you're tired of reading. So we're trying to, they assigned a priority to those, and so there's a reason why they appear in a different order now, and it makes sense.
How are these general orders and this policy communicated with the police department staff? Obviously, if you're new to the department, you'll probably get a copy of it. But for those who are
Already there?
those who have been here, how is that handled within the department?
Every one of the officers have to read and understand and sign off with the concept copies, and then those forms are kept in the personnel file. And like this one right here is a new one, so new forms went out there.
Gotcha.
Reread all and sign off on them.
And they should have access to an electronic document when it's all over with. They're not going to have to carry these binders around. There will be some printed binders for, I think, supervisors and the chief. I told him I didn't need one. electronic format's fine for me, so.
These remain in control.
Sure.
And how are changes handled over time? Like if you change an order, is it how is that handled?
Everybody's gotta know about it.
Huh?
If you change it, nobody knows about it, and that's not
Right, so how is it handled in the department? You make a change,
posted on the pass.
okay, and then we keep a single electronic copy as the master?
I keep masters in my office.
Okay,
I've got books just like this, but they're the original.
just getting into configuration control,
These are the controls.
alright.
Once it's posted on the board, that will initial next to there.
For the records?
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alright, item C, resolution number 2019-09, a resolution of the City of Clear Lake Shores to support the Galveston Bay Estuary Program, the Galveston Bay Plan, Second Edition, the Comprehensive Conservation and Management Plan for the Galveston Bay Ecosystem.
It's a long title.
Wow, who made me read all that?
So, last month, we all attended the Galveston County Mayors and Council Association meeting held over in League City, and the Galveston County Estuary Program came and presented to us some of the work that they're doing to help preserve our estuaries along Galveston Bay, and one of the things that they asked for support from all of the cities within the county is to pass this resolution. So I reached out to their director, and that's what you all have before you. So you guys heard the presentation, and that's where this came from.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2019-09 as written.
I'll second.
Brent has a question.
Brent has a question.
I-
We have
I
a
have a
motion
question.
first, hold on, we have a motion, so,
I seconded.
yeah, and a second. So you want discussion?
Go ahead.
The only thing I've noted, and I just noticed this, is that the resolution number on the document that's in the packet is 2019-19, and the one that's on the agenda is 2019-09, and I can't tell you which one's correct, but
I think the 19's
I
correct.
think it's 19.
19, okay.
Yeah.
So the document that's in the packet is correct. Thank you.
And thank you, Amanda, for following through with their request to create it.
Alright, I have a first and motion, any further discussion? Having none, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous. Alright, item D, approve the nomination of Councilwoman Bailey as the city's representative and Councilwoman Pro Tem Terrell as the city's alternate to the Houston Galveston Area Council, HGAC 2020 General Assembly and Board of Directors. And what this is about is the HGAC every year has a new term, and so we have currently Councilwoman Fenwick was on it, and she no longer wants to do it, and so we have it upon us to
Bless you.
huh?
I just said bless you.
Yeah. For us to do it, and in November there's a general election, let's see if I can get this right, for the caucus, of which they actually elect the membership to the board.
Correct. And they
So,
serve on
yeah,
on the HGAC board, yes,
Right.
to represent
So
basically
we're
small
a general law city,
Yes,
so all
to
of us
represent
don't have
general
to
law
go
cities.
to the meetings, but we
Correct.
get minutes back of the
Correct.
meetings.
And it really is a fall and a spring meeting. I joke, it's not a lot of time and effort.
Yep.
So I will make that motion to approve Councilwoman Bailey as our representative and Councilwoman Terrell as our alternate.
And I will second it.
Happily make that.
Amanda made a motion and Christie second, all in favor? Unanimous, all right, and the meeting's adjourned.